Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. Welcome back to CBSN. California Governor Gavin Newsom is temporarily deregulating rules for cargo trucks to help ease supply chain problems. His state is home to one of the country's busiest ports. Governor Newsom says while the number of containers sitting idly at the ports has decreased recently, he will ask the federal government to expedite California's cut of the infrastructure bill money to make long-term improvements. As President Biden touted his bipartisan bill in Detroit yesterday, House lawmakers held a hearing to address the supply chain backlog, but Americans remain concerned over rising prices and delays in shipments from overseas. For more on this, I want to bring in Congressman Peter DeFazio. He is the chairman of the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. He's also a Democrat representing Oregon's 4th District in the southwest part of the state. Congressman DeFazio, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
In yesterday's hearing, you called on the private sector to step up. What is it you think the private sector is not doing that you think could ease issues with the supply chain?
Well, remember, the supply chain is almost entirely privately controlled or local with ports. So you've got, the marine terminal operators who are only recently agreeing to move toward 24/7 service after they've been job owned by the president. Labor has stepped up and said they're willing to staff and work the extra hours. Then you have the trucking interests. The port of Long Beach is now going to 24/7. They say there is still additional capacity in the late hours of the night. They need more truck drivers. Perhaps that's what Gavin Newsom's trying to get at in terms of the drayage trucks going into the ports and loosening up on the regulations for them. And then obviously rail also, and then the ports. The federal government has been disinvesting in our ports while the rest of the world has entered into the 21st century. There's $17 billion long overdue in the Investment Infrastructure Jobs Act, the bipartisan bill that just passed and the president just signed. And expediting some of those funds there could help in the short term, but it's really a long-term issue. Dredging, jetties, work that should have been done over the years, which has been ignored by the federal government as a lack of partnership.
Right. It is a long-term issue, as you point out. So how long do you expect it will take for that funding from the infrastructure bill to actually make it to the California ports and other key areas to address the supply chain?
Well, they've asked for expedited processing of some of their funds. I would expect that can be done in fairly short order. The law is fully signed, authorized, and Secretary Buttigieg, I believe, would have the discretion to advance them or at least guarantee them in advance of some of the money, depending on how long it takes Treasury to process it, for whatever short-term measures Long Beach, LA can take. And there's also problems on the East Coast with Savannah and other ports.
Right. You're absolutely right. It's a countrywide problem. And Congressman, President Biden said yesterday in Michigan that the infrastructure bill will boost jobs and help the U.S. stay economically competitive with China. Do you think that everyday Americans will see enough economic benefits from this legislation before they vote in next year's midterms to sort of give the administration the credit?
Well, I just heard from the head of the Oregon Department of Transportation this week saying they're already getting ready to let contracts. They have major projects on the shelf to mitigate congestion, to deal with weight-limited bridges and other things. And I'm pretty sure most of the other 49 states have projects sitting on the shelf. Transit has a $100 billion backlog for state of good repair to better move people. And that money will be spent very quickly. And the best news about all of these investments is we have the strongest Buy America requirements of any part of the federal government. These are going to be all American jobs. There's going to be a lot of jobs. I've advised the unions. I said, you're going to need to expand your training capacity for apprentices. There is going to be a lot of construction work starting next construction season, which in some states starts early next year, other states later in the spring.
Well, speaking of demand for labor, there's already sort of a demand for labor. Do you think there's a chance that it's going to take a while before we can get people trained and filled in all of these jobs?
No, the apprenticeship programs can be expedited. We can also work with the community colleges. There's provisions in the bill to work with the community colleges and expedite some very short-term courses, 1 month, 2 months, to get people the basic skills they need to operate this advanced machinery. And these are very good jobs. They are minimally Davis-Bacon family wage jobs with benefits, and many of them are union jobs. They're career jobs. People are, as apprentices, are going to be earning about as much as someone who graduates with a bachelor's degree and goes into teaching right to start. And within a few years, when they're journeymen and journeywomen, they're going to be earning considerably more. These are great, high-quality jobs. In my state, we're finally restoring what we call career technical education and getting people into this workforce. There's a lot of people out there who want to get out of their crummy service jobs where they're abused and underpaid. They are going to be looking for these jobs.
And looking at the bigger picture, Congressman, 15 House Democrats, 15 of your colleagues have announced their plans to retire. Is this a sign of anything other than retirement? Is this a sign that perhaps Democrats don't feel confident they can keep their majority in the midterms?
Look, running every 2 years is pretty tough. It's a tough schedule. A lot of the people who are retiring have been in Congress a long time. We got some great young recruits coming up. If I was Republicans, today, if the election were held today, they'd take the House for sure. It's 1 year, a long year, until the next election. I expect when inflation abates, when people see the construction activity and hopefully the other benefits of the Build Back Better plan flow with child tax credits, tax breaks for families, with help with daycare expenses, so more women can get into the workforce. We got a lot fewer women in the workforce today than we did pre-pandemic. The mood of the American public will change. My state is at the lowest unemployment rate in quite some time, but that doesn't mean that everybody has a job. There's discouraged workers out there who we've got to bring back, and they will come back for good quality, high-paying jobs.
All right, Congressman, I want to ask you about the Biden administration's other piece of signature legislation, the social and climate spending bill, Build Back Better plan. The Congressional Budget Office is expected to release its estimated cost of the package soon. What will you be looking for in this report?
Well, I fully expect that the president will deliver on his promise that this will be fully paid for. Actually, the infrastructure bill was not fully paid for. The pay-fors were written by Republicans in the Senate. Some of them are, shall we say, dubious at best, but those are investments. The federal government should have a capital program. We don't. We build a 100-year bridge. We count it the same as buying fuel for the Navy. When you invest in something that's going to serve the American people, improve the economy, make us more competitive internationally, it's going to last 100 years, that should be counted differently. I don't begrudge borrowing a little money for hard infrastructure, which the bill we just signed into law does. But this bill, with the social programs and the other things, is going to be fully paid for. And by the way, it's going to be about 1/5 of the Pentagon budget every year. So I can't see where people say, oh, this is going to be inflationary. It's a tiny fraction of the Pentagon budget.
So you're ready to vote on it. It has your vote. It's good to go as far as you're concerned.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Congressman Peter DeFazio, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.